In this video, I'll show you how much my second KDP account made in its first year. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Sean, and I've built a 7-figure self-publishing business, which I eventually sold, and now I'm building my second KDP account. So if you want no BS publishing advice from someone who's actively publishing, then make sure to subscribe. And if you want a completely free training on how I built my publishing business to that level, then the link to the training is in the description below. All right, so in this video, I want to show you the results of how much my second KDP account made, because I officially reached 1 whole year ever since I started. And technically I started this in the end of January, but the first full month was from February. So I'm going to count how much I made from February 2022 to January 2023, which is going to be a 12-month period. All right, so let me take you over to my KDP dashboard and show you month by month how it progressed over time. So just a quick heads up that it says 33 books, but that is because KDP doesn't really tell you how many books I had at that period. So obviously I had way less books than this in February in 2022. So basically from my first book, I made $101 in the month of February. Then I think I published 2 books. One was another high content book and another one was a low content book. And the second month I made $981. Then in my third month in April 2022, I made $2,049. Once again, I published, I think, another high content book and another low content book. So at this point, we have about 5 books total. Then in May, I made $2,590. So a little bit of increase, not so much. And I think I only published 1 low content book in this month. All right, then in June, I made $3,067. And you can see that the growth, is adding about $500 a month or so, but nothing crazy. It's not a crazy jump. Summertime is a little slower, and obviously I only had a few books out, so it was pretty limited to what I can do in terms of Amazon ads as well. All right, so the next month in July, I made $4,324. Once again, published a few more books, started running ads to it, and as you can see, the income keeps stacking over and over every single month. And July was actually the first month that I had my ACX income, because I started turning these books into an audiobook. So you can see that I made $187 from ACX. So in total, I made a little over $4,500. All right, next month in August, I made $5,946 from KDP. And from ACX side, you can see that I made $308. So steady growth on both KDP and ACX side. All right, next month in September, I made $6,318. And one thing I forgot to mention is that this is kind of a side project for me. So, unlike my first KDP account where I was building it full time, my second KDP account, I'm trying to outsource as much as possible and spending probably 0 to 30 minutes a day on it. And most of the work is, run by my assistant or somebody else in the team. So obviously I can build this a lot faster if I wanted to do this full time, but right now my attention is somewhere else. And also this is with publishing perhaps, 1-2 books a month, if not less. So we're definitely not going as fast as possible, but you can see it's still working. The income is still going up month after month. So in September, on top of the $6,300 I made from KDP, ACX has made an additional $379. So in total, I made around $6,700. All right, taking this into October, we have made $8,561 from KDP side. This is when we started running Amazon ads harder to kind of prepare for Q4 coming up. And on top of that, ACX is growing steadily. So you can see that in October, I made $484 from ACX. And I also started uploading my books on Ingram Spark. So just from the US side of Ingram Spark, it made an additional $141. And this is one of many other aggregate income source that I started tapping into. So I made a little more from, like UK, Australia. I'm not going to show you each one because they're just a couple bucks here and there. But in total, in October, I have made $9,314. Next, we got November here, and you can see that November is the first time our income dropped. So I've made $6,881 on KDP side. And the reason why is because we try to scale too fast on October. We thought we will get a lot more sales in Q4 than we actually did in October. December was a lot better, but October was a little too early, I guess, to spend money on ads. So we kind of scaled that back into bringing it back to profitability. So November actually was a better month than October in terms of profitability. All right, so ACX is growing once again. $856 is how much I made in November. And for Ingram Spark, I've made $228. So that is also growing. And once again, I'm not going to show you like 6 other different distribution channels that I have because it is very small, but it does add up to another few $100s. So that brings November to $8,306 for the month. All right, so now we got December. So this is when the Q4 sales started to come in, okay, and ads started converting a lot better. So we reached $11,938 just on KDP side, which was a big jump from November, and actually our profitability was a lot better. And for the ACX side, it dropped a little bit, but it made $719. And for the Ingram Spark, the US, it made $118, and once again, a little bit more from the other channels. So that brings December total revenue to $12,878. Now, if you want a more in-depth breakdown in terms of, profit and expenses, then I did do an income report for every single one of these months in my income report playlist that you guys can go check out on my channel. All right, so that brings me to January. And in January, my sales kind of stayed similar to December, except that you see the trend is going down a little bit. So I think the Q4 boost is kind of, fading away, as well as I'm dealing with new competition for my #1 book, which is affecting sales a little bit. But still in January, I made $11,140 from KDP. And for ACX, I had a career high for my second KDP account so far. So $958 just from ACX, so almost $1,000. And for Ingram Spark, I've made another career high for this account, which was $550 just from US and a couple $100 more from the other aggregates. And I forgot to mention in the past couple months, but I also promote affiliate products, and I do a little bit of affiliate marketing in my backend and build out my email list. And then I pitch other products and I get a little kickback for doing so. So this affiliate commission, this is on ClickBank. I promoted a couple products there and I made $53 in additional income. In the past couple months, I was doing probably $100 to $200 a month average on ClickBank. So that brings the total in January to $12,909, once again over 10K. And in terms of revenue, that was actually the highest month that I had for this account. All right, so you can see the lifetime earning for this account. So far, I've made $70,000, but that's also including February. So, if you take out February, starting from February 2022, you can see that I have a little bit of earning in January, but once again, I started at the end of January, so I'm counting from basically start of February to the end of January, which is a 12-month period. Okay, so you can see a very steady growth except for a dip in November, and then went up to December, and then the Q4 boost is slowing down, so January. And for February this year, it's a lot bigger dip that you see, but that's kind of normal. It's pretty much impossible to just keep growing endlessly forever. It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, especially because I didn't publish any books in February. On top of that, the Q4 boost is pretty much, slowing down, as well as new competition that I have to deal with in my niche. But overall, still happy with, how much it's making, and I'm pretty confident that it'll be fairly steady from here. So this is from KDP side in terms of how much I made lifetime, but for the 1-year period of February 2022 to January 2023, if I add ACX, Ingram Spark, and other channels, I've made a total of $69,650 from this KDP account. So once again, that is a total revenue, $69,650. And that's actually more than my first KDP account, because I made a video about this like 10 months ago, where my first KDP account made $66,000, and I was putting in way more hours and publishing way more books. So the efficiency standpoint, I'm doing much better for my second KDP account. Obviously, it makes sense because I've been doing this for years and I have a little more experience. Although, because I sold my first KDP account, I did sign a non-compete. So I cannot go into the same niches that I know will work. So I had to go into a brand new niche that I know nothing about. So that made things a little bit harder, but still I was able to, get these kind of results. So how many books do I have? I had 32 books published for the year, which 9 was high content book. The rest was low and medium content books. So it's not a lot of books, but I do have some bundle combinations that I can create, which should add a pretty good chunk of additional income to my top line without really, adding any expenses, because bundles are essentially free to create. And this is from starting with zero, right? So in 2023, I am now not starting from zero. I am starting from between like $8,000 to $10,000 a month top line. So publishing is really a game of stacking. You know, the more books you publish, the more you will stack your income. Yes, some months are higher, some months are lower, but in general, your average should keep stacking over time as you keep publishing books. All right, so let's talk about some key takeaways. So what definitely worked is something that I preach all the time, which is building a brand. So sticking to one niche and serving the same audience. After 1 year, I still only have one pen name, and I basically just keep building that one pen name. I am gonna start a new pen name now that it's been a year, but for now, I still only have one pen name, and I always focus on high quality books. My books literally have hundreds of reviews at like 4.7 average rating. So we know that it's good, and it's not fake reviews, it's genuine reviews from real customers. I have great cover and content as well. And these positive reviews ensures long-term sales. So if you want steady sales over the long term, then you do have to focus on high quality books. Now here are the struggles. So Amazon ad cost was pretty much expensive for the whole year, and it's sitting at 40 to 50% of revenue. So 40% of that is actually going towards Amazon ad expense, and typically I see people spend between 30 to 50% in Amazon ads, and for me it's about 40%. So I would say I'm right in the normal range. However, if I can lower this, it'll be much better. Now, my books are good, right? I'm getting, once again, hundreds of reviews, and the average rating is 4.7. So what that tells you is it's not really the issue with the books when it comes to, what is making the ads expensive. It's basically just a niche. And the niche that I'm in, once again, it was a lot more competitive than I thought. And you can see that I'm still profiting and I'm still making money, but the extra competition is what's driving up the ad cost. Because Amazon ads works on an auction system. So if everybody is bidding for the same target, the same keyword, then it's just going to get more expensive. Once again, I know a lot of other niches that's much more profitable, but I can't really publish in it because I got the non-compete. So I'm a little more limited in terms of my choices of niches, but obviously there's a lot more niches that I can go and discover and go and publish in. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I've actually gone into a niche that most of the other books are traditionally published, or it's from a big publishing company. So I'm one of the few self-publishers out there trying to compete, and it was kind of an experiment to see if I can, still stand out and make money. And I did make money, but it's definitely a lot tougher than going into a niche that's not saturated with these big publishing companies. As you can see, I was still able to carve out my own market and make money, but not as much as I wanted. So this really shows that finding a low competition niche is very, very important. So my goal for 2023 is actually to pivot. So I'm going to maintain this current brand, but I'm going to pivot, find a new niche, and also going to start building that one. Now, as you can see, there was a little bit of drop in February 2023, and not just me, but with a lot of people as well. And a lot of people have been asking me this. So I just wanted to talk about it real quick, how do you know if your book is actually dropping because an issue with your book, or perhaps new competition coming into your niche, or perhaps it's just the season and it's just there's less customers on Amazon. So how can you tell which is the case? Well, it's actually quite simple. So if your BSR doesn't change but your sales have decreased, then that means there are simply less customers on Amazon, because your BSR is your bestsellers rank, so how well your book is selling compared to your competition, right? So if that number doesn't change but your overall sales is just less, then that means there's simply not enough people on Amazon compared to Q4. But if your BSR is increasing, then that's when you know that you probably got new competition and those books are taking sales away from you. All right, guys, that is my recap for the first year of this KDP account. There were some challenges, but I think it went pretty good overall, considering the fact that it made more than my first account, which then went on to make multiple six figures every single year. So I'm confident that I can take this account to that level as well. So would I hit 100K this year? We'll see. If you want to find out, make sure to stay tuned. All right, guys, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you want the free training on how I build my publishing business, then the link to that is in the description below, as well as all the tools and resources that I recommend also in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.